Hello, this is Comics Covered for the week of February 28th, 2018, episode 16. We're broadcasting a little bit into the future.
We're saying hello to our future, actually we're not saying hello to our future selves, I guess. We're saying hello to you all who are in the future.
This is us.
Don't we always do that, though? This is just more so.
Well, I guess usually we record a couple days early. This week, a little bit of a strange episode. We are recording over a week early because I'm going to be out of town the whole next week and a half. So this is kind of a stopgap episode a little bit. There's going to be all the normal talk and banter and conversation and everything. We're just not going to be able to talk about like specifics of news or our current books or anything.
So if the world ends before, next week, just know that we didn't know, So
I mean, if it looks like the world's going to end, I mean, I say we just release the episode early. Like the people deserve it. The people deserve to hear us.
They're demanding
it. The people demanded it. Back by popular demand.
Can we make a prediction?
Okay. About when the world's gonna end?
No. Make a prediction on, like, something that's gonna happen in the next week and a half that we don't know about right now. That we can,
Just anything?
Anything.
I predict that somewhere someone is going to slip on a banana peel in real life. Like in real life, like not in a cartoon. Like that has to happen on a that has to be a real thing. Are banana peels
actually slippery?
Someone has to be able to someone's got to have slipped on a banana peel. I bet that happens like someone somewhere every week slips on a banana peel and everyone gives them so much shit for it because they're like, no one really does that. No one slips on an actual banana peel. This isn't a cartoon, and they just mercilessly mock that person, and rightfully so, because that person is a moron and should be ridiculed.
You're terrible.
That's my prediction. What's yours?
I predict that the Olympics will end.
That was an educated guess, and I do give you props for that. You had a little bit of a safe assumption.
Hey, I mean, I'm a safe guy. I'm not the wild card. You're the wild card here, so whatever.
That's definitely our dynamic. Here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books, and apparently whatever that was, the world around comic books, the comics industry, comics, movies, TV, games, sometimes, occasionally. Not much games lately. Not a whole lot of news on that front. I'm
excited for the Avengers Square Enix thing, though.
Whatever it turns out to be.
Also, Samantha, my girlfriend, she works for Square Enix sometimes, so usually those games, And
her social security number is 7. Well, we also will talk spoilers and will probably swear at time after time. That's my prediction for the next 2 hours is someone will swear.
2 hours? I thought we were going shorter than usual.
You're right. Well, hopefully not in the next 2 hours. I gotta make it to Annihilation, Jack. We'll warn you about the spoilers. I'm Doug. I've read a lot of comics. For example, I know something that my co-host Jack here might not know. I know who Spider-Ham is.
So you don't like the title veteran at all anymore?
I'm really getting shy about referring myself as a veteran every episode, which, with the context of comics veteran, not quite so weird. But
I'm a veteran.
I have
fought in wars.
Also, it just sounds a little bit pretentious, but
okay, I can feel that. Well, I'm Jack. I am not a veteran, unlike
neither of us is a veteran. But
we're neither of us veteran. I'm a recent convert to comics, and you're gonna tell me. Also, I realize we're doing kind of a Pulp Fiction storytelling thing here, which is pretty cool. With us doing this, and if you I don't know, people might want to listen to them in chronological order. Who knows?
In the order of when they were recorded. This is someday someone will come out with the listener's guide to how to listen to Comics Covered. And they'll say, you have to listen to them in chronological order of when they were recorded.
Yes.
We've poured through all of the transcripts, and we've come to you with the true order.
Yes. Okay, tell me who you have for me to guess, please.
I did already say it, so.
Oh, what was it?
It's written on the rundown.
I don't... Okay.
It's Spider-Ham.
Oh. Jesus. I did not hear that, or I didn't register that as your actual thing. No way.
Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham.
Okay, it's gotta be Marvel.
Spider-Ham. You don't think Marvel would sue?
I would assume it's like Comet the Super Horse.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. If it was Marvel, why would they sue themselves? I'm all over the place.
What? No, I'm saying it is Marvel.
Yes, it is Marvel. That's why what I said didn't make sense. It is a Marvel character.
You're insane.
And
okay, here we go. Spider-Ham.
Right.
Spider-Ham. Okay. It's a pig who was bitten by a radioactive spider. A pig, maybe it was even like a famous pig, like it was Abner from Green Acres or something like that. Does anybody know what Green Acres even is anymore? I don't know what our demographic is.
Some 80-year-old person somewhere is just like cackling because a young person knows what Green Acres is. I don't actually know what Green Acres is, but from context I gather it's an old person thing.
It's a show about a farm, and they actually reference Abner from Green Acres in the movie Pulp Fiction. So there's your storytelling right there.
Relevance, Pulp Fiction, current content. Would you like me to tell you which aspects of Spider-Ham you got right and wrong?
Okay, go ahead. It's a pig who's bitten by a radioactive spider, and his name is Abner.
Oh, there's such a wonderful twist on your guess. Okay, first off, I just need to drop that this character's real name is Peter Porker. Peter Porker.
No,
it's Peter Porker. And Peter Porker is, in fact, not as any sane person would guess, a pig who was bitten by a radioactive spider. So this is a world in which all the people are anthropomorphic pigs. Or at least some of the people. I'm not sure. And, but just wait. Here we go. Peter Porker was a spider that resided in May Porker's basement. What? She invented an atomic hairdryer. She used it on her hair. Then she bit a spider.
What? Wait, what? She bit a
spider.
Pig ate a spider.
She bit a spider.
So it didn't even eat it. It just bit it.
She bit the spider, and the spider, Peter Porker, became an anthropomorphic pig with the abilities of a spider.
Oh my! What? Who comes up with this shit?
Let me look at who their creator was. Tom DeFalco and Mark Armstrong.
I don't know. Those names mean nothing to me. Are they just...
They are who created Spider-Pig, and they will live forever in my heart as...
Spider-Ham. Not Spider-Pig.
No, that's the Simpsons thing. Spider-Pig,
Yeah, seriously, wait. So did they not sue the Simpsons, whoever owns that, for Spider-Pig?
Yeah, because Spider-Ham is definitely their most famous and valuable property. They
Pinnacle of...
sued about that.
What kind of story does this come up in? Was this just for the hell of it? Just
Spider-Ham appears in 162 issues, which is probably incorrect because Comic Vine is broken these days. But...
So you think it's more?
It's probably more.
162? There are real characters who are only at 300, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a real character.
I get it, but it's like what? Okay, what's the most recent seeing of
the
Spider-Ham?
Most recent appearance of Spider-Ham. He was in an issue of Spider-Gwen.
Okay, so he's in funny sort of things right? He's a
comedic character.
And he's still used?
He's still used. All of these comics that I'm seeing in the recent issues thing are all things from the last year or two, so.
Oh my god.
He's appeared in at least 9. I'm not going to click through this, but at least 9 issues in the last year. So, Spider-Ham.
So
I'm now looking at a picture that I wasn't aware of an entire Avengers team full of pig versions of all the characters.
Oh my god.
There's a pig. Wait, no. Is that a pig? There's a Wolverine that looks like something else that maybe isn't a pig. But there's a
Wolver pig.
There's an Ant-Man pig, and he has a Ant-Man helmet that is shaped like a pig's face.
This is just insane. I'm looking at the comic find thing now. I can't believe this is a real
important, pressing
thing.
issues like Spider-Ham. Jack, how was your week?
Dear Lord. My week was good. Wait, are we talking about what we think our week is going to be?
Oh God, you're right. I don't know if we can do the week recap.
Like seriously? Okay,
Jack, how will your week have been? How will your week have been?
How will my week have been? I will have seen Annihilation, the movie you're seeing. Actually, I'll have seen Annihilation by our episode that we're recording on Sunday, that we're releasing this Sunday. So, I will have, eaten some good food. Actually, okay, by that time, I'll probably have finished, watching the show on Netflix called Casa de Papel. And it's pretty great. They changed the name of it on Netflix because the original name was Casa de Papel, but on Netflix there's a certain show that sounds exactly like that. Do you know what it is, Doug, with your limited Spanish knowledge?
Casa de Papel? Is this House of Cards?
So it's not House of Cards, but it's exactly like that title, so they had to change the name to Money Heist, which doesn't sound as fun.
Wait! I've seen that on Netflix, and the title blows me away every time. That makes so much more sense that it's like a last-minute, like...
Exactly, they came up with some generic thing.
Money Heist.
Exactly. It's so weird. It's like the most generic thing. It's like, what are we going to call this shit? That's Money Heist.
It's the most redundant... What other kind of heist is there? Money Heist.
But yes, that's what it is. It's all in Spanish, and it's actually a really great... it's a really great show, actually. They basically tell the story of this, huge money heist where they take over Spain's, place where they, make their money and stuff, their mint. And, they talk about every single character, basically, in this thing. It's really, really cool, actually. I would suggest it.
Okay.
But yeah, Casa de Papel is the original name, Money Heist.
Casa de Papel.
It's really funny. Okay, how will your week have been, Doug?
Well, this is all of your guesses under the assumption that we will live past tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and project that the world will end tomorrow, and I will be the only one of us to have seen Annihilation, and I will lord that over you in the afterlife. So that's my my week. I will be sad. My week will have been incredible because I will have been in Ireland for a week.
So, that's where he's going, everybody.
Exciting. I'm going to be in Ireland. Hit me up in Ireland. Don't hit me up in Ireland. Don't. Although, actually, if the few of you who listen to this, if one of you manages to find out exactly who I am and find me in Ireland, I mean, you're a stalker and terrifying, but also, y'all did a lot of work. Y'all did some legwork.
That'd be like a Doug heist.
A Doug heist. You will have pulled off a real money heist of an accomplishment.
Actually, but we'll have released this one on a Sunday, so you're going to be coming back on that Tuesday. It's going to take it's going to be very short time to turn around there,
What are you talking about? I'm confused. Anyways,
this episode will come out on the Sunday 3 days before you leave Ireland.
Yes.
So they're going to hear you saying that you're in Ireland.
Oh, yeah, that will be unless someone manages...
Unless we say it on Sunday.
Well, maybe
the one that comes out this Sunday.
Yeah, maybe it'll come up again. But if we don't mention it, then, that person, or maybe they hacked me. Maybe they hacked me and found the audio file.
Maybe they're NSA and they hear us right now because
Well, I mean, they hear everything.
On lists
you are
everywhere.
correct, though. I will have seen Annihilation, and I will have seen Annihilation by the last episode that we released. But it's I'm very excited to see it. I'm going to see it tonight.
Cool. Well, yeah,
cool. So we can't do news this week. But
can you play the music for what we do have, though?
I mean, sure. We're gonna talk about sort of news. It was like a little bit of a cheat this week. But so last week we talked about some of the announcements regarding some of the new series coming out of Marvel, and I'm not sure if we'll have talked about DC or anything, but solicitations dropped last week now. and we decided we'd save those for this extra episode here. So we're just going to dig into those, talk about them in a little bit more detail than we normally have time for. First...
And this is for May,
This is
right?
for May. These are the solicitations for May. For anybody who isn't...
So is it always 3 months ahead?
Yes, always 3 months
You know what that means, Doug?
What now?
We've been doing the show for about 3 months now.
Oh.
Because we did February solicits, were my first solicits I'd ever seen.
We started
I didn't know what they were.
We started in November. Or wait, end of November.
End of November.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And
I see this now. I don't know what Free Comic Book Day is, and why haven't I gotten a free comic book yet?
Well, that's not the day yet. If anybody isn't super familiar with the comics or the comics industry, solicitations are the kind of press release that every major comic book company puts out once a month. It's basically 3 months out. It's largely for retailers to... it's for retailers and for customers because of the weirdness of how comic book ordering works and stuff. To know basically what's specifically coming out 3 months from now and what day it's coming out on and like what the big stories are going to be, like stuff to get excited about.
Well, and so that people can put it on their poll because that's the only way they know the numbers.
Literally the only way that comic books get money is if you put books on their poll. Well, that's not entirely true, but the only way that you really influence up or down yourself the books that you like is if you put books on your poll, because
it's like the only way they see the money is if you put it on your poll, but the only way they get the money is you buying it.
Sure, that was like a little tongue twister, and I didn't quite follow it, but I think you're correct. First big book here, so I put this on here specifically because I wasn't sure if you knew what Free Comic Book Day was, and apparently you don't. So it's every year on a day, first Saturday in May? Is that what it is?
Saturday?
I think it's a Saturday. It's May 5th.
So specifically on Saturday so people don't get it on Wednesday?
Let me check. When is May 5th? But anyway, it's a day in May.
Saturday.
May 5th is a Saturday? Yes. It's always the first Saturday in May. And basically every major every major and minor comic book publisher puts out a number of books that they give to stores, and they are in turn supposed to give those books to their customers for free. Every store does it kind of differently. They almost always have some sort of limit. Like you get like somewhere between 2 to 4 books usually for free of the selection that has been put out, or of back issues that they're trying to get rid of. If the special Free Comic Book Day issues have run out. But
so are these issues like things that you follow? Are they like normal series, or are they like special?
They're all different. Like a lot of them can be like, here's a reprint of a recent series that we want people to like try out and get on board with. But like Marvel and DC specifically always do, here's basically a lead-in to like what our next big thing is going to be. So, for example, this first book on our May solicitations from Marvel, we're going to start with Marvel because Marvel has a lot of big stuff that we will probably have talked about last week that they announced in terms of their publishing lineup. They're doing a big new publishing initiative. They do those basically once a year.
With new number ones,
yeah, lots of new number ones, lots of new, they call it a fresh start, which is the most
legacy stuff.
Most lame name for a comic book initiative in a while. They're literally just calling it Fresh Start. But
a new start.
A new start. That's an Arrested Development reference. So we got Free Comic Book Day Avengers #1, which is a lead-in to the newly announced Avengers series that is coming out also that month. The month that'll be next. Written by Jason Aaron. So on Free Comic Book Day...
Wait, this Free Comic Book Day Avengers is different than this Avengers 1?
It's a different issue. It's a one-shot. Every comic book company puts a #1 on anything, even if it's a one-shot. It's a one-shot that you probably need to read, but it's a lead-in of some kind to the start of that new Avengers series.
So it'll be like Legacy, where they don't really follow up on anything, but they kind of do?
Yes and no, but it's funny. Do you remember... So you remember Legacy. Legacy was written by Jason Aaron. Okay? He's taking over Avengers. And they specifically did tease that they are going to be basically following up directly on all of that stuff in his series.
I'll read it again.
It feels like we kind of were treading water a little bit between Marvel Legacy and now. But anyway, so this is a special on Free Comic Book Day that'll lead into Avengers #1, our next book. Written by Jason Aaron, penciled by Ed McGuinness.
And you told me Jason Aaron is a pretty big guy in Marvel.
Jason Aaron
why haven't I read anything from him yet?
Because most of his books have been running for a while. He had a decently lengthy for nowadays run on Doctor Strange that was really good before Donny Cates took over.
Right before?
There was a bunch of fill-in issues in between, but like within a year. He's been writing writing Thor for the last like 5 or 6 maybe more years than and that's a very highly regarded run. I read a lot of
Tell me, was he the guy that was doing the Mr. Misery stuff that you were telling me about?
Yes. He wrote all of that. He wrote all the stuff that basically set up a lot of what Donny Cates is playing with now. The idea of like the price of magic and all of that stuff is from his run.
And then he did a Thor thing. I should get that Thor thing because I feel like I've never read a Thor thing.
I've always kicked myself for not continuing with Jason Aaron's Thor run. I've only heard amazing things about it. Like all the way he started with Thor, real, like the Odin son Thor. And that was one of that first arc he did, called The God Butcher, is the thing that made me actually really like Thor. It's, if you read one Thor story, I would say if you have never read a Thor story, I'd say start with that. And then, I fell off because I didn't like the arc after that. But then I've heard only amazing things about everything since he transitioned into, Jane Foster as Thor.
Jane Foster.
And that was, I think, most of his run now. But, I've heard really good things about all of it. But Jason Aaron is for all intents and purposes, intents and purposes, Marvel's, he's their big, currently viable, big name.
He's their new Brian Michael Bendis.
Kinda. Yeah. Like he is, like, it's not a direct analogy, but like he's their big guy. He is their big, like, their big name person who's actually like really creatively strong at this point in his career.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so he's taking it over. I'm very excited about this. I have a lot of mixed feelings about some of this relaunch in some of the grander stuff. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit. But I'm very excited for Jason Aaron to take over Avengers.
I mean, if a writer is a writer, he's going to be... Yeah. It's going to be good, just like the next one we're about to talk about, too.
Also announced Venom by Donny Cates. Donny Cates is someone who has really blown up at Marvel, and just kind of in general in the last year.
It's a shame. He had a family and everything. He just blew up.
Spontaneously just exploded. Just
sad.
Yeah, sad. All caps. But yeah, I'm pumped
for this. This should be great because he's obviously been great at writing Thanos, which will also be out this week that we're talking about, which is sad because we won't get to talk about it. But I'm really excited to read Venom because I hear Venom is like more of an anti-hero, I assume, than Thanos because Thanos isn't one.
Yeah, Thanos is just a villain.
Yeah. Venom, though, is like definite anti-hero, right? I don't really get how,
He goes back and forth. originally a villain, then kind of an anti-hero. He's gone back and forth since. When he has had his own series, he is an anti-hero. He is, quote, the lethal protector. So he's a superhero who kills. He's a morally gray superhero. Very violent, very brutal.
I thought the suit was black.
What now?
Sorry. You said morally gray, so I mentioned that the suit was black.
Okay. Well,
In any case, Donny Cates, awesome. Super excited for this.
Yeah, his work at Marvel so far has been super solid. So,
have you ever read a Venom thing?
I have not. I've seen Venom appear in stuff, but I've never read a Venom book. So I'm excited to be excited for one, basically. Like, I'm always excited to, want to, read a new character that I've never read before. And this sounds really promising.
Okay.
Cool. We talked about this, I don't know if this,
2 weeks ago.
Was this on that show? I don't remember what show we talked about this on.
This was on the February 14th episode, yes.
This series, You Are Deadpool. Again, I don't know if this is the thing I'm going to pick up, but we talked about it previously on the show. It's like this weird interactive fiction Deadpool thing where you're it's like a choose your own adventure thing, but then also there's dice and stuff, so there's a little bit more to it.
I feel like one of us has to do it.
I'm so curious,
do it.
But it's
I'll get
also
it.
a weekly series. It must be a month with a fifth week, because it says 1 through 5 of 5 are coming out in May. So,
oh jeez,
yeah. So it's a little bit of a commitment because it's one every week. But I don't know, maybe just the first issue. I'm so curious.
What do you know about the writers?
Al Ewing,
or the writer?
I've heard decent stuff about his stuff. I think he's co-writing the current Avengers, No Surrender stuff. He's one of the 3 writers, really? But yeah. And that stuff's good. We talked about this now 2 weeks ago on the show, but also Jonathan Hickman's Shield is getting finished up. They're releasing issues 5 and 6 in May, so that's interesting. I will definitely be reading the first 4. They are also releasing basically a single issue reprint of the first 4 issues in that month before 5 and 6 come out. So they're going to be releasing 1 through 4 as a single volume in anticipation of the new 2 issues.
5, 6. Okay, I'll have to get the volume 1 before that, and then.
I mean, it's not like a volume 1. I assume they'll do a trade after 5 and 6 come out, but
they have a trade of their arc before this one.
No, because it's not an arc. It was just 4 issues that was never finished.
There was a series of 6 issues. There was a
series of 6 issues before this. Yes,
yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to get that trade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely going to be reading that as well before this new series, and then I'll probably just pick up the 4-issue primer thing before the new ones come out. Because that seems like a good move on their part. Interestingly. Spinning out of, this is, I believe, the first, spin-off book from No Surrender we've seen.
We haven't seen anything else, I don't think.
I don't think we have. We're getting it's being branded as a spin-off book. I don't know how much it'll actually tie into No Surrender, but it's Quicksilver, No Surrender, number 1 of 5, so it's a mini-series, starting in May, written by a writer they seem to really be leaning into in the last month or so of announcements. Saladin Ahmed, which is cool. Dude's getting work.
Have you read Black Bolt yet?
No.
Okay, read it on your plane ride.
Yeah. I've been kind of stockpiling my stuff to read for the trip, plane rides and stuff.
Right.
But
so
I will
you will have read it.
That.
By the time we
probably
release
by the time this releases, I will probably have read Black Bolt, and I thought it was insert feelings here. So
I got it. You made a joke
just,
about the future.
like it sounded really seamless, but like that's just some tricky editing work I did there to put that
good.
seamlessly in there. Next up, we've got. I think we talked about
this the wedding they were talking about a few weeks ago, remember that whole big deal?
One of our first episodes, we talked about they teased a wedding in Marvel, and then they revealed that it was going to be Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Oh yeah, and
so now
I was closer on our guesses.
In that you guessed it was Wolverine and Nightcrawler.
Yes, exactly. I was closer.
I don't remember who I guessed. I think it was Iron Man and Pepper Potts. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But mine made sense. So the X-Men wedding special #1. Again, it's just a one shot. I don't understand why I guess they do it just to let people know that it's a thing they can get, like it's not an existing series. I don't know.
I don't. This solicitations thing is so alien to me. I don't. Yeah.
I feel like you could just put special on it, but whatever. But anyway, yeah. So they're doing a one shot issue about Kitty Pryde and Colossus. I don't know if I'll get it, but it's a big. Yeah. It's a decently big thing, at least in their marketing materials. They're making a big deal out of it.
I wonder if like Colossus's like how do I say this? Genitalia is like really large, and if Kitty Pryde is like petite, like she looks like, maybe she uses her going through
Jesus
powers
Christ.
to take the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Well, then that wouldn't be having sex, Jack.
Well, it'd be having sex. She can control how much goes through and not.
All
right?
So it just goes into her organs. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, sorry. Well, technically, all sex is going into organs. They're all organs.
Okay. And then finally at Marvel, we have Marvel 2-in-1 #6. The reason I put this on here is so they don't say anything outright, but a number of things in the solicitations for May seem to be pointing to the idea of a possible or probable return of the full Fantastic Four in the coming year. So this issue specifically calls out, it's the name of this first arc in Marvel 2-in-1 for anyone who's not reading it, which is about the Thing and the Human Torch, two members of the Fantastic Four, and the rest of the Fantastic Four are missing, presumed dead. We as readers who have read previous things in Marvel know that they are not dead, stuck in another dimension. But they don't know that. They're kind of this arc is called The Fate of the Four, and the kind of byline on this issue is The Fate of the Four revealed at last. And it mentions that they join forces with familiar friends. The fate of the Four will be determined here. So yeah.
Why does it say Deadpool variant cover?
Every series is getting a Deadpool variant cover that month. They do stuff like that every month.
What does that mean?
I think the one for this series in particular is the Thing, but he looks like Deadpool. So that's what
I gotta look at this. What?
The variant covers are a weird thing. It's a thing to try to get people to buy them because they think they're one of a kind, like, or more rare things. And basically, like, they do these like batches of them, all like every book in Marvel that month, or one issue of every book, is going to get a Deadpool variant, which basically just means it's a variant of their thing that somehow involves Deadpool. It just has Deadpool on the cover in some form.
That's weird. Random.
Yeah. It is random, whatever. I assume it's some sort of anniversary for Deadpool. I'm not actually sure. That's usually what they do those. But also in the solicitations, they have not been printing a lot of Fantastic Four trades and stuff, and there were like 5 of them in their solicitations for trades that month. So I'm guessing sometime around that time, we will have gotten an announcement for a new Fantastic Four series.
So it's exciting for you because you like Fantastic Four.
I'm very excited. I want to. Also, goddamn, this is a tangent, but so I made a deal on Twitter that I was like, I did a poll for what I should read next after I finish 52, and I'm almost done with 52, and so what won the poll was Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And so I'm almost done with 52. So I went on Amazon and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to buy, I have the first volume of Hickman's Fantastic Four. I need to buy the second one or whatever, whatever. It will get me the next bit of the story.
Yeah.
And Jesus fucking Christ, that shit is impossible to find. If you want to, there are no paperbacks unless you want to, I could buy it used. I should just do that. I'll just do that. But like, if you want to buy a new copy of this thing, you have to buy like a hardcover for like $300.
Ugh,
it's horrible.
Jesus,
ugh.
I don't even like hardcover. I feel like it's hard to read comics like that.
Yeah, I generally prefer paperbacks just because they're easier to hold and move around and stuff.
Weird.
But I know they don't.
Can't you just ask your comic book shop to order it, or will they just not reprint it?
Probably, but I was trying to do it in time for my trip, and yeah, there was nothing that like that would have taken like a week or two. But all
right, well, shit.
Anyway, very frustrating, but I've got other stuff to read.
Would you say Fantastic Four is your favorite like team of superheroes?
I haven't read a whole lot of Fantastic Four. That's been the point of this little mini obsession of mine with them recently, is because I have wanted to read a lot more of them. I haven't read a whole lot of Fantastic Four.
I gotcha.
But I really like the idea of them, like conceptually and like thematically and stuff. But I just haven't read a lot of it, and I really wanted to.
And you really liked the movies too, I know. So moving on.
DC Comics. This one's weird because they're releasing it the Wednesday before Free Comic Book Day for 25 cents.
What?
It's DC Nation #0, which is a new this DC Nation thing is apparently an existing thing at DC, and it's like a magazine that has comic stuff in it or something, or it's like an anthology of comic stuff. I'm not entirely sure exactly what this DC Nation thing is, but it's the thing they're going to start publishing. This first issue, this is #0 issue, they're releasing for 25 cents on New Comics Day before Free Comic Book Day. And it's got tie-ins to a bunch of, it's basically like a New Comic Book Day issue. I think they're just trying to eat New Comic Book Day's lunch. Is what they're doing.
What does that mean?
Which is
eat
weird.
Its lunch,
like trying to show it up.
Oh, okay.
Which is
but
weird
also, don't you also
because
think? I feel like they want to do New Comic Book Day, but they don't really want to do it. So that's why they're doing. The
they will definitely be putting some stuff out on New Comic Book Day. Like that's for sure. But I feel like this is somehow like them trying to like get more of a spotlight on their like event tie-in stuff without a bunch of buzz about like Marvel stuff, and also is what it seems like. Like get it out there slightly beforehand, which sure, fine. It's weird though, this like 25 cents doing it before Free Comic Day. Very strange. Apparently you can get it free digitally, I believe. So if you want to read it for free, you can just get it I assume on Comixology or whatever.
It's art by my favorite person.
Clayman. The man made of mud. Clayface. So there's a bunch of tie-ins to a bunch of their exciting new stuff coming out. Batman is going to have a tie-in to the upcoming Batman Catwoman marriage story, where the Joker is going to try to stop it, apparently.
Oh, is that the big thing?
That's apparently what is going to happen. I don't know.
Are we going to have the Joker objecting?
Oh, I want that. I want they are in the ceremony and he walks in, says objection, and then he does something ridiculous because he's the Joker or something. I can't write these things, Jack. I just read them and desperately.
Here we go. He steals Catwoman. They run off together into a bus, and the camera slowly pans away as they look depressed, riding away on the bus.
Wow. Great.
You've seen that movie, right?
Yes, I have seen The Avengers.
Okay.
What? No.
Oh.
The Graduate.
Yes. Of course,
yes,
The
I have
Avengers,
seen The Graduate. Everyone remembers the
then,
classic scene in the Avengers when Tony Stark and Captain America, Steve Rogers, get on the bus at the end because they ran away together, and
yes, of course,
they realized their mistake. So we've got a tie into that. We've got a tie-in, a prelude to Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson's. Are they also co-writing Justice League No Justice, or is it just Scott Snyder? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do like a mentor thing with Scott Snyder, going over these guys who are younger, right? Are they younger?
I don't know how old they are in relation to Scott Snyder, but so there's a tie-in to the new thing that will tie into Scott Snyder's new Justice League thing, whatever that ends up being. Justice League.
Do we know if that's going to be all different, like series?
They haven't said specifically what it is yet. Just that it will be that the flagship book will be written by Scott Snyder. Also, I think two other books will be written by James Tynion IV and Joshua Williamson, respectively. But the flagship book will be written by Scott Snyder. Whatever it is, they again haven't announced yet. But there is this big event, Justice League No Justice, that is leading into it, and this is a lead into that because comic books are stupid. So there's that, and then we've got a Man of Steel prelude. Which is...
this should be great.
The new... Man of Steel is, again, this is a prelude to a prelude. Man of Steel is the event that will lead into Brian Michael Bendis' dual Superman and Action Comics runs.
Now, is this going to come out... When is Action Comics 1000? Is that in April?
No, because we already... yes. Yes, because we covered it in last month's solicitations.
Okay, I wasn't sure because that will be his first writing for DC, and this will be the second.
Yes,
thing, I guess.
Yeah, he has a story in Action Comics 1000 that will somehow lead into this. Although maybe I don't know how it actually attached it'll be, but yeah, that'll be his first writing at DC, and it'll be about Superman, and then this will be his next bit that leads into his first actual series.
Okay.
Lead-ins to lead-ins to lead-ins to lead-ins.
Yeah, seriously. Jesus.
Yeah. That's comics. And then we have the actual first issue of Justice League No Justice, which is the mini-series that is going to lead into the new kind of status quo, whatever it is, for the Justice League, where it appears they're splitting into a bunch of different teams with each of the core Justice League members leading each one of them.
What's the leader of the fourth one? Oh, the Flash. The Flash is the leader of the other one, right?
Team Wisdom. Yeah. Which
Weird.
I think is actually about very smart characters, I realized. Because Barry Allen is a scientist and crime scene investigator, like a forensic scientist. I
didn't know that.
And I realized we've got Cyborg, we've got the Atom, we have you could, I guess, consider Damian a master tactician. I'm not entirely sure about him. Or maybe he's there to be because Barry Allen is kind of a mentor character. I think that's also kind of part of what that series is because they're all kind of younger. And then Harley Quinn, everyone forgets, is a super highly educated psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Which is not really ever referenced, but I think that's the idea. Anyway.
Yeah, why don't they have more Harley? Why don't they lay into that more? Do they in her solo? Does she have a solo series?
I've been super Harley Quinned out for a long time, so I haven't been reading her solo stuff, but maybe they do. I don't know. So
you have before though?
No.
Okay.
I don't really care for Harley Quinn, honestly. Outside of the cartoon. So we've got the first issue of that miniseries, which I'm very excited for. Especially since it's got Starro the Conqueror as a part of the team.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for that. He's on Batman's team, or
he's on Superman's team because they're all aliens.
That's right. I just noticed something.
Yep.
They say rated T on all these. Are like, who rates them?
The DC. It's
so. Go ahead.
Like it's just a it's a self-regulation thing. Like the movie industry does this. They have the
I know the MPAA.
The MPAA,
but that's not a specific studio rating their own stuff. It's
they have in the past had like outside regulatory like systems, and everyone got rid of that because it's just not needed. Yeah.
Huh.
They just do it themselves. Like what else do you need?
Okay, never mind. I just never noticed that before. And we were talking about that young adult special line or whatever, and I was thinking, like, is there just T and M basically mostly?
There are kids books. Like I don't know exactly I don't know how they rate. I don't know exactly what all the ratings are. Is it just like PG? I don't know. But
I'll have to look that up.
But
okay,
they do, like, they have like all ages books and stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we've got New Challengers #1.
This is coming out of the pages of Metal.
Yeah, this is one of those books. This is the one book. This and Terrifics and maybe Immortal Men are the ones that seem like they're actually like spinning out of the events of Metal. All the other ones seem just like they're just new books of these new age of DC Heroes books.
Also, can we talk about the language of out of the pages of? Because that was in Out of the Pages of No Surrender. Out of the Pages of Metal, I've been seeing all over the place. Is that a thing that they say about like every event?
Like every spin-off thing from an event, that's pretty much what they say.
From the pages of Secret Empire,
Yeah.
did they say that?
Yeah.
From the pages of Damnation, they'll say that?
Probably, yeah. If there's like a
Jesus.
spin-off book, yeah. It's just a really commonly used phrase. It's short. It's a shorthand. You know exactly what it means.
Yeah.
But, New Challengers #1, another Scott Snyder thing. This is his new Challengers of the Unknown series, which I'm very excited for.
Okay. Challenger Mountain, that's the thing that appeared, like, in the middle of a city, right?
Yep, it appeared in the middle of Gotham, I think. Gotham or Metropolis.
I think it was Gotham. Yeah, I think you're right. So, I guess, it's returned to DC Universe? It was a mountain that was gone?
It was a thing in the previous continuity before New 52. Although I think there was a Challenger series after New 52, and I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know if they had the mountain or not. But so this is his new reboot of that seems to be tying into the old version of the Challengers, which is interesting.
Okay, so the Challengers are a group.
They're a group,
a
and
team?
they're an existing team. This is apparently a new team of them. This is, I think, all new characters. But
do they like have a specific thing? What makes them different from the other teams?
They're explorers. They explore different dimensions and weird places. Like they're
Fantastic Four-y.
Yeah, they're a similar vibe. They're like more specifically like Fantastic Four does a lot of exploration, but they're not necessarily all about that. Like that's all this team does. It's like they're scientists and they explore.
Okay.
And they're just people. They don't have powers.
Yeah. That's interesting.
They're just scientists.
They don't have any like meta-human powers at all.
As far as I know. I don't know about this new run, but as far as I know, the existing Challengers have not had any powers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then I don't know if this next one is... So it's Detective Comics number 981. I've been reading this series. I'm not sure if this is the end of James Tynion IV's run on Detective Comics, which has been like the Bat Family team book. It says it's the end of his epic. But I don't know if that means
he's gone.
if he's done or not, or if this is just the end of that story. I don't know. But
these are only 3. These are cheap issues. Detective Comics, $3. Right?
That's
the lowest they usually are.
The twice monthly ones are $3. At DC. We got the Flash number 46, which is a lead-in to Flash War, the big Flash, multiple Flashes event, Crisis on Infinite Flashes.
Can't they just say it's the first issue of Flash War?
No, because they want to milk it.
But, like, it's leading into, like, the first issue leads into Flash War. Like, right?
It's all semantics. I don't know.
Obviously, they're going to have lead-ins from the last arc to the Flash War, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Man. I assume it means that this is technically skippable if you just want to read Flash War, but if you're already reading the series, it will give you more context, is I'm guessing how it's structured.
Okay. And then, so the Flash is twice monthly too?
Yes.
It's going to be, the Flash War is going to be, that's awesome.
Well,
that's good.
Flash generally is a twice monthly book. Yeah, most of their flagship, like their big characters, because you're not really reading any of the, like, you're not reading the Batman or the Superman or anything. Like when you were reading Wonder Woman, that was twice monthly. All of their big, like, those big characters are all twice monthly.
Okay.
For better or worse.
So going back, Nightwing you have down here. I've not read. Why do you have Nightwing on here, anyways?
Okay. So this is a new writer, Benjamin Percy. Completely
new. Have you ever read anything from him?
I have, and he's been writing Green Arrow since Rebirth. Well, since before Rebirth. And I jumped on his Green Arrow run with Rebirth, and I really liked it. And it was one of the most, like, critically liked books of Rebirth. But they could not keep a steady artist on that book. And, like, there were two artists who were really good, and if it was just them alternating, I would be fine. But, like, it was like every other book, it was like, okay, so we get one from artist number 1, we get another one from artist number 2, then we get like 4 issues from just random artists, like all different, everyone. Then we go back to artist number 1, and then maybe like 2 more issues of artist number 1, and then one of a rando. You know, like it was just like completely inconsistent in a way that really put me off. But I really liked the book, like the story. So I'm hoping that, I don't know if Nightwing is twice monthly or not. Green Arrow was, which I'm assuming was the problem with keeping up.
Well, it's $3.99. So
yeah, no. So I assume it's not. Also, it's 32 pages, so it's definitely not. But so yeah, so I am really interested to jump back on a Nightwing book, because I was also reading that during Rebirth, and it was okay. I fell off after a while. But I really want to read a Nightwing book, and I like Ben Percy as a writer. I liked him on Green Arrow.
Gotcha.
So I'm probably going to pick that up.
The art guy can make him a lot of Mooney-ham.
That's not a thing.
Spider-Ham is, so Mooney-ham is
right.
too.
Cool. And then Image has not released their solicitations as of yet. Oh. But they did have their Image Expo, in which they basically announced a bunch of upcoming series, not necessarily all for May. There was one in particular that's coming out in May that caught my eye.
Where's Image Expo? Sorry, where is that held? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
That's probably in California, isn't it?
Image Expo is in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, never mind.
It was this Wednesday. But yeah, it's their
cool.
It's their, they have an event where they it's like a kind of a con, I don't know if it's a con, I'm not sure, but it's like an event where they announce a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so okay. There's a new Rick Remender series coming out with art by Bengal. And it's sounds slightly sci-fi, but like a lot less sci-fi than Remender books usually are. It's like a weird, not post-apocalyptic, but it's about a trucker after basically all human truckers have been kind of put out of business. And it's you got to do a dangerous cross-country heist.
Weird.
I don't know. It sounds weird. I just love everything Rick Remender puts out, so I will probably be picking that up. Okay. Sorry, it's called Death
awesome.
or Glory is what it's called.
Death or Glory.
That's coming out in May.
Cool. I'm down. I love Rick Remender. I'm almost done with the fourth volume of Black Science. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
Because I believe there are 6. But, okay.
That's gonna do it for stuff coming out in May.
Should we just list these off and here we go. I have an idea. Doug, you're gonna say the name, and then you're gonna say a prediction for what it's gonna
What will have happened
really
this week.
Yes. No discussion. Just say what you think is gonna happen in this week's series.
Okay.
Yeah. For current comics, everybody.
Wait, you're gonna say a thing and I have to guess?
No. We're just gonna go thing by thing, and we're gonna predict what's gonna, what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen in these new comic series that we are going to have gotten on Wednesday, the 28th. So we're gonna guess what's gonna happen in each of these series.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
comics music. Cue.
So first off, we got Doctor Strange number 386. This is following up on Damnation, the first issue of that this last week. Which we talked about last week. What do you got, Jack?
We'll have talked about last week.
Yeah, we need to put that confusing language on everything.
Damnation. In this, we're gonna. Where did we leave Doctor Strange? I don't remember where we left Doctor Strange. Damnation.
He was in the casino. He made a deal.
The casino. Oh yeah, because the Bats is trying to help him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're
Wong.
gonna get together all the mystical kind of heroes of the Marvel universe.
Here's my prediction: Wong is gonna show up by the end.
Wong is going to show up.
Or Bats.
Let's see. My prediction is that Moon Knight and Man-Thing are going to get along quite swell.
They're going to get along quite swell?
Yeah, they're going to like each other.
Quite swell. Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool.
Cool.
Okay, Thanos number 16. Doug, you go first.
What was the last thing that happened in Thanos? They're going to go save Death?
They're going to go save Death. I
think this I do know. Here, I'll give us a little hint. This week, this issue is going to be about the history of Cosmic Ghost Rider. So, give me a prediction. Give me a prediction about exactly what the history of
Frank
Castle became Cosmic Ghost Rider.
I think he probably, something happened. Someone killed someone that he liked or loved or something again, and he made some deal with Mephisto, and he's just been doing it too. I think he went crazy as Ghost Rider. I think when he started as Ghost Rider, he was still dumb old, brooding old Frank Castle, but then as he's been alive for thousands and thousands of years, he's been the most powerful Ghost Rider, so why change him? And he's gone insane just by living for thousands or millions of years.
Okay, so in a previous issue, I'm pretty sure they referred to him as a previous Herald of Galactus, and we have in this series seen that Thanos is using Galactus' severed head as his throne. So I'm going to guess he is chosen as the next Ghost Rider. He then is selected by Galactus to be his herald. Then we get Thanos kills him, and then Ghost Rider's out for revenge, but is eventually conquered by Thanos. Can't beat him. You just can't, because Thanos always wins. So
Thanos always wins.
He's going to fall under his thrall. The thrall of Thanos. Thrall. Ooh. I like the word thrall.
I like that word. That's good.
I don't think we should do this for all our books. Good. This is time consuming. But
okay, Avengers 682, shit's gonna happen and Voyager's gonna get found out.
Yeah, I think we are also getting the history of Voyager in this issue, which I'm excited for. I'm excited for anything to do with Voyager in that series, because that's really the only interesting thing.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. And then I'm excited for Terrifics. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I am very, very pumped for Terrifics. It's going to have, it's got Mr. Terrific, someone who I feel like I haven't seen in a major role in a book in a while. It's got Plastic Man is going to be in it. We got Metamorpho.
By the way, where's Plastic Man and Dark Knight's Metal? He isn't. I thought he was going to be a part of this event.
They talked about him in the last issue. They're off doing something with that egg.
On Thanagar, right?
Thanagar. Wait, did they have him or did someone else? I feel like someone else had the egg. Or did the Thanagarians take him? I can't remember anything that's happening in Dark Knight's Metal anymore. It's just, there's so much. I
know. Okay, in any case. Okay.
Tom Strong is going to be in it. God damn, they're integrating Tom Strong into the DCU. It's crazy. It was an Alan Moore thing, not in the DC universe. It's an Alan. Okay,
I don't know, but that has anything. What does that have to do? Is that Terrifics?
Yes, they teased that he is on the you know how on the solicits that Challengers thing has that like super tall cover. It's like a fold out thing.
Yeah,
all of these new Age of DC Heroes books have that, and on the big fold out cover for the Terrifics is Tom Strong and his supporting characters, who is a character created by Alan Moore, who is a pulp adventure science character, and he was not owned by DC previously, and they since got the rights, I believe, or no, I don't know. I think it might have been like a sub, like an imprint or something, but they were not in the DCU before, so I'm excited for that.
Okay,
because he would fit right in.
Okay,
cool.
So, Doug, list off what are you reading next week? What are you reading? What will you have read?
I won't have read because I'll be in Ireland, but as soon as I can read them, this week I would have read, Detective Comics number 975, Saga number 49. Thank God it's back.
Is it delayed?
It's just on trade break for a really long time, which is they took a break to catch up. The Dying and the Dead, number 7, and Flash, number 41.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. So a trade break is basically they came out with issues, but they wanted to get the trades caught up with the amount of issues that they were in there?
Basically, it's how a lot of Image series and a lot of indie series are structured is they'll come out with an arc, usually like 6 issues, then they'll come out with a trade, and then they'll take a break. And the idea is, one, it allows them to catch up on the book, to like work ahead so that they can put out 6 issues uninterrupted, like for 6 months. And then also, people will get the trade, read it, and then be able to jump onto the new issues once they come out because of the break.
That's good.
So it's just kind of a built-in break. They like Brian K. Vaughan does that on all of his series.
So how long has this break been between sagas?
It's not been like super long. It's been like I feel like it's been at least 3 months since we had an issue, something like that.
Dang.
Yeah, okay. I'm just excited to have
cool,
it back.
Though. I'm on volume 3 of it, but they have a lot more saga than they do Black Science. So I think they have like 8 volumes or something like that. It's insane.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I wanted to, I do want to throw this out there. I wanted to have kind of a discussion topic area at the end of this show, but I don't have time. I gotta run in a few minutes here.
It's your movie.
But I wanted to have a discussion block on this show to talk about Marvel's relaunch and kind of our feelings on all the characters reverting back to, quote, the original versions of these characters, and kind of our feelings on the kind of cyclical nature of comics, and like whether or not mantles should, whether or not, Captain America is Steve Rogers, or whether Captain America is a mantle worn by a series of people, and that's definitely something that I don't want to drop, so I really would like to talk about that.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll hopefully do it next week. So that's probably going to do it for us this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We're a new podcast, still, sort of. I mean, we're 16 episodes in at this point, but
we're new.
In the grand scheme of things, we're not hundreds of episodes in. And even if we were, the biggest thing you can do for a podcast, if you like the show, is give us a review or a rating on iTunes. It's literally one click. You scroll down on our podcast page, hit a star. And if you liked what you heard, let someone know about us in person, on social media. Tweet at us. We'll tweet right back at you. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back in next week. Or better yet, subscribe to this podcast feed. Never have to think about it. We were so determined to have an episode every week. We did this special one just for you, even if it's not a normal episode.
Yeah, and even this one is shorter than usual.
Technically, yes. Yes, you are correct. That phrase has been stuck in our rundown for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it wasn't this week. It wasn't, but you had to bring it up because you are determined to take us all down with you.
I'm determined. I'm also determined to mention that if anyone, if you're like not digging on us, don't just, not stop listening. Just tell us, give us feedback. We like constructive criticism. So, but in any case, you can follow the podcast feed on a number of different podcast things like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Goggle Play Music, and so whichever one you prefer, we've got you handled.
That's not.
In the meantime,
that's the wrong joke.
Before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered, as it's spelled. And you can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. And we have our video versions on Facebook as well. So, the Facebook is still hip and cool. Kind of. Not really. Apparently people are not digging on Facebook these days, which is a shame. But not really a shame because, capitalism. So screw it. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, or if you want to stalk Doug in Ireland, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll give you his current whereabouts.
Oh, no.
And you can also email at comicscovered@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening. I'm not in Ireland.
Why, I am. Also, I'm Doug. Also, I got Donny Cates to admit that they put a Twin Peaks: The Return reference in Damnation this week.
Except he doesn't watch it.
Yeah, he doesn't. I forgot there were
two
two authors. It was Nick Spencer, apparently. But I did get Donny Cates to admit it. I'm Doug. This has been Comics Covered.
Cheerio.